What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will be at E3 2021. So we've made our way to this game. We've talked about other Warner Bros. Games. We talked about Lego Star Wars. We talked about Hogwarts Legacy. We talked about Gotham Knights. I'm actually getting very close to talking about all of the games that we could talk about with Warner Bros. But, we've had those discussions. We're going to talk about the possibility of Suicide Squad, what needs to happen, what they would show if they are there, all that stuff in this video. So if you guys have liked this stuff and you want to see more, make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed. I'm recording this a few days early. I don't know where we're at in terms of our race for 50K, but I assume we're getting very close. So please, if you haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed. Help me get to that hurdle, and then maybe I'll shut up for, about it for just a little while. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. Give the video a like. Definitely helps it out. And final thing, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Link for that is always in the description below, along with all of my other social media stuff. Okay, so Suicide Squad. We talked about Gotham Knights, and I think it's important to bring Gotham Knights into this discussion because my way of thinking about it is if Gotham Knights isn't at E3, I don't think Suicide Squad is. You could say, well, why do you put those two games together? It's kind of order of release, right? So they're both DC. They both showed up at DC Fandom, obviously, right? But I really think Gotham Knights is the more important thing right now. Now, it could end up happening where Suicide Squad's a better game. I'm not saying, I'm not declaring which one of these is going to be, the flat-out winner. But I think in terms of order, in terms of, what you want to push first, and we've talked about that before, right? You push the closest thing. Hogwarts Legacy kind of throws an extra, another thing in there because it's a game outside of DC that could release around the same time as one of these two games, right? And you can kind of do it at the same time, almost, right? I don't think you can have them both release at the same time or even close to each other, but you could probably promote them relatively close to each other. And again, I think it depends on what kind of show Warner Bros. Wants to do at E3, right? We've talked about the different models of do they want to go all in and kind of show everything that they have, but do it in a small amount for each one. So if they want to do Lego Star Wars, they do a small thing for Lego Star Wars. If they want to do Gotham Knights, they do a small thing. Hogwarts Legacy, small thing. And they just go bam, 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 right? Very, very fast show, similar to past Sony E3s where they say we're gonna let the games do the talking, and then they show 30 games in a 1-hour presentation, which I always loved. I absolutely loved the way they did that. Not that I love covering all those games, all that quickly, but I think for fans it is an exciting thing. Or do they choose to go a different route and do big segments for a small amount of games? So they say, okay, we're going to do Lego Star Wars. We're going to show you a 10-minute thing. We're going to show you Gotham Knights. We're going to show you a 10-minute thing. Again, it depends on which one they do. And then for Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad, the tough thing is DC Fandom. So Suicide Squad in particular, there's a couple aspects with it where what do you show right now? So if I were to tell you, okay, if I said tomorrow, I know that Suicide Squad is going to be at E3. I got the inside scoop. Warner Bros. Contacted me and they said you can say it to your followers, or you're allowed to say it, but you can't say what it is. And I said, okay, Suicide Squad is going to be at E3. What for you guys? And you guys can let me know in the comments. What would you want to see, and what would you expect to see? Because the hard thing is, again, one, Gotham Knights comes first, in terms of release, and second thing is we don't really. Suicide Squad is going to come out at some point in 2022. Now, I don't actually think that's going to happen. I personally believe the game's going to be delayed till 2023. So does that mean they can't show anything? No, I think it still means they can show stuff. But where are we in the promotion, basically, or the pushing out of this game to us? Are we at a gameplay stage yet? I really don't think so. It's not unheard of that you could show gameplay years out, 2 years out. And I get it. It could technically come out in a year. It could come out in a year and a half. It could come out in 2 years. Is any of those times too far to show gameplay? Not necessarily, not guaranteed, but a lot of things can change from right now to then. And again, it depends on the game. Some games kind of feel like there's mainly exclusives. They feel comfortable doing that. Microsoft does that. Nintendo does that. Sony does that. There's been times where we've seen a game running, not just a trailer, but gameplay running years before. Now, 2 years is probably as far out as you want to go. If the game is like 3.5, 4 years out, you probably don't show gameplay. You probably don't have gameplay that you could show. You know what I mean? Or at least it's very bare bones. It's not something that you actually can show off to people or that you would want to show off to people, right? So I would say 2 years is kind of that deadline. For Suicide Squad, we got a very meaty trailer. I mean, we got like an almost 4-minute trailer for this game, which is way more than I ever expected that we would get for this game. I thought the game would be coming out a lot sooner, so I did think we could get more, but knowing when the game was going to come out now, it makes sense what they actually showed, right? And it's actually kind of impressive considering how far out it is. So, like, it's possible we get gameplay. I honestly feel like if they were to show anything for this game, it would probably just be another trailer, but that would kind of be odd, in my opinion, to have a game. I mean, it's been done before. Like, you could have another trailer, but I just feel like for a game like this, the gameplay is probably going to be that make or break thing. And so to have another trailer, like, you could do another trailer and introduce another Justice League member that is like controlled and that's evil and that you're going to be fighting. You could do that, and it wouldn't be so different than what, again, other games have done it. I mean, other games have had a trailer, gone away for a year, shown another trailer, gone away for. I mean, that happens. That definitely happens. So I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think naturally, I think we want gameplay. I feel like that's naturally the next thing I struggle to say should, right? Because then we're kind of demanding it, which I know people have issues with me ever saying that we demand anything. But we should get gameplay as the next thing, and I don't think we're at the right spot to do gameplay. Gotham Knights is in the way. DC Fandom is in the way. And like I said, so if Gotham Knights isn't there, I'm like, it's understandable. I think people are going to be very upset. So like, there's going to obviously be that conversation. But I think it wouldn't be more clear that they're saving it for DC Fandom, right? So if Gotham Knights isn't at E3, I think everybody under the sun would expect the game to be a DC Fandom. Is that fair to say? I would argue Suicide Squad is the same. So if Gotham Knights isn't at E3, I would say it makes no sense to do Suicide Squad, right? Because you have a game that's coming out first that you're not showing. So that would be like, in my opinion, that would be like Sony showing God of War stuff, like a full-on, which would be amazing, granted, but showing God of War stuff and leaving Horizon completely out. Like, you don't show a single thing, no trailer, no mention, nothing. That'd be so worrying and so worrisome for Horizon, it wouldn't even be funny. In fact, it would be incredibly sad. It's honestly, I would say the same thing here. If you showed Suicide Squad and you didn't show Gotham Knights, imagine what people would say, right? People already don't have a lot of confidence in Gotham Knights, and then if you were to skip them and go straight to Suicide Squad, people would be like, holy God, like, is the game canceled? People always jump to that big of an assumption, which wouldn't be true. But, I mean, I wouldn't blame you for jumping there, right? Because it would be such a stupid and just not a worrisome thing that they would do. So I would say if Gotham Knights is there, let's go in the reverse, because if Gotham Knights isn't there, I think obviously Suicide Squad isn't there. But if Gotham Knights is there, I still think it's probably like a 50-50 shot. Gotham Knights is there. It's very possible they do Suicide Squad, because maybe it's what I was saying in the beginning, where maybe it's a bam, 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 like they do, like game. If it's like that and Gotham Knights is there, Suicide Squad could very well be there as another trailer. I really do think so. But again, the other side of the coin, right? Gotham Knights is there, and they say, well, we're kind of going based off of order, right? We have Gotham Knights, we have Lego Star Wars, we have Back 4 Blood, which I know they're not developing it, but they are publishing it. So, like, they have all these things. Maybe they just want to leave Suicide Squad out for a little bit, you know what I mean? So I don't have as much confidence with Suicide Squad as I have for, I would say my order, Hogwarts Legacy I would put at the highest, like at the high, where I feel like it's got the best shot of being there. It makes the most sense. There's really nowhere else that you would have something like that. I feel like it's the right time, all that good stuff, right? Second would be Gotham Knights, where it's like, makes sense, but you could hold it off for DC Fandom. Suicide Squad would be third, would be kind of dead last if we're only ranking these three games. And again, it's kind of a coin flip of what you do there. So I'm not going, as I try to recap it towards the end, I'm not expecting it. I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful. Any of these games I've talked about for E3, I hope that they're there. I truly, I'm not lying to you guys. I don't fake being excited. I should say that. I never fake being excited. If I'm excited and you guys can say, oh, you seem excited, that's because I am, okay? So I hope Suicide Squad is there. Do I think it will be? No. Do I expect it there? No. Do I expect a good show from Warner Bros. Though? Yeah, I do. And it's going to be quite an event for us at this channel as well. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it'll be there? Do you think it won't? What do you think they would show? Let me know. As always, if you guys are new here, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed. Bell icon. Again, if you want to follow me on Twitter, PodcastNow15. Loads more E3 videos over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. And then when E3 happens, oh my lord, we're going to have quite the coverage on this channel. Never before seen. And I kind of hype it up in that way, but we're going to have some amazing stuff on this channel for E3, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.